So today I want to talk about demonic remains. And now, if you are like brand new to the game, first of all, like below level 60, just do the main quest, get to level 60, start gaining Paragon levels. At some point, you'll find a quest probably on your left-hand side that will take you to the demonic portal, and you'll unlock these demonic remains and your Heliquary. So you access it now with an extra click. You first go up to the upper right, the menu, and then now it's Seeker's Path on the right hand side, and then you tap or click Heliquary, and here you see. Well, I've got my Heliquary maxed out at the moment. Level 70 is the max as of recording this video, and then demonic remains over here. And another way to access it is through your inventory. You choose the other button here, and you choose the button on the left-hand side with the triangle, and here then you press Heliquary, get to the same place. Okay, remnants have three main things on them: combat rating, attributes, and special attributes. And when you are relatively new to the game, probably the thing you're going to want to prioritize most out of those things is going to be combat rating. And then when you switch to be more, if you are more PvP focused, you're going to want to prioritize the attributes more. And then the special attributes are only active in Heliquary raids and challenge rifts. I assume that includes Gauntlet as well. And ideally, um, in a perfect world, you would change these, to have optimal ones for Heliquary raids, but Heliquary raids are generally the normal Heliquary raids tend to be so way too easy to bother switching for that. So I would only really do that for really competitive gauntlet runs, for example. Let's start with the combat rating. Basically, uh, the main thing is look at your in your inventory, look on your upper left hand side of your screen, tap or click on that, and you'll see the server paragon level. Now, if your first goal should be to get around the server paragon level, and then you should look at what difficulty uh, is basically the one that includes the server paragon level. So if you go to the mini map on the upper right, you tap that. Currently, as of recording this, it's Inferno 4. It's going to be Inferno 5 pretty soon. And you see that here the combat rating recommended is listed in green. And then for Inferno 4, and then currently for me for Inferno 5, it's listed in red. That means I'm below the recommended for it. And that makes it so you deal significantly less damage and take significantly more damage from enemies. So that's your number one priority for PvE, to get above the recommended combat rating. And then once you are, you can start shifting your focus to other things to optimize. But then also keep in mind that dungeons have a slightly higher combat rating, and raids also have different combat rating for different bosses within even uh, a difficulty. So currently, if you look on the right hand side for the raids, say I'm above for Zakorandag on Inferno 4, but still a little below for the Mersagare. So that is basically, you want to prioritize combat rating when you are below the recommended for a given PvE activity. And that also includes pushing challenge rifts, in my opinion, even though the challenge rifts do also benefit from these special attributes. If you are pushing challenge rifts where you're below the recommended combat rating, the combat rating is probably going to make the bigger difference. For PvP, it's best to have um, these demonic remains that have only fortitude and willpower, because you get significantly more fortitude and willpower uh, from those double attribute ones than you get from a triple attribute that has fortitude, willpower, and something else. And fortitude and willpower are just so much more impactful in PvP than any other attribute that you're going to want to really prioritize just the double attributes with only fortitude and willpower on them in your specifically in your uh, demonic remains. It's a little more debatable whether you want to do that for your gear because gear has different trade-offs for combat rating and for the magic attributes. But when we're talking about Heliquary remains, you definitely want to do that because fortitude here increases your armor and armor penetration, and willpower increases your potency and resistance. Those are your poorly named secondary attributes. In my opinion, these should have been called primary and the other ones secondary. But because the secondary are really the more impactful ones for PvP, and these are compared to armors, compare your armor penetrations compared against your opponent's armor, and vice versa. Your potency is compared against your opponent's resistance, and vice versa. So very impactful. So let me go through and see first of all if I've got any that have more fortitude and willpower than the one I've got equipped. And nope, this one has less. Okay, so this one that I have equipped is my best one for my PvP set. My PvP my PvP set of demonic remains. Next, I want to look at combat rating. Okay, this one is the clearly I have only one that has the highest combat rating, so that's a given. And then third, let me look at the special attributes. So the one I have equipped has damage done by your summons increased by 6%. Of course, that's really good if you have a summon-based build. It's useless otherwise. Critical hit damage increase is always good. Um, Now this one has skill damage and critical hit damage. It's okay, it's not the best. So let me it's good but not the best. Let me keep going. I would say in general critical hit damage is um a little better than skill damage for most builds as long as you're prioritizing critical hit chance, which is the number one, DPS attribute, general DPS attribute like that. Outside of you know uh, special stuff that's only on gear. Um, okay, so your Death Heals party members. Okay, that's not something you want to really prioritize. Damage into demons and skill cooldowns. Skill cooldowns is also nice. I I don't tend to prioritize it for demonic remains simply because I try to stack it as much as possible in my general builds and have that kind of skill uptime relatively consistent between raids and other PvE content. But if you could use it, if you don't have 100% uptime on key skills, then certainly that's a good one to go for. And damage increase 6% to enemies below 30% life. That's all right, but not as impactful as some other offensive attributes. Primary attack damage is also great for most builds. And it depends whether primary or skill damage is better. You want to test at the training dummy and look at your breakdown of your raid build and see, what does more damage, your primary attack or your skills. And now we get to the last one. It's got critical hit chance and critical hit damage. I think we've found a winner here because critical hit chance is like the number one DPS attribute, and um, followed by critical hit damage, but they go hand in hand. Now you should keep in mind that they both have 100% cap, and so uh, with critical hit chance, you want to stack. Your critical hit chance as much as possible. Mine is currently 32%, and you can get that on your helmet. It can roll on helmet, shoulders, and main hands and offhands, and you can also get it on certain runes like these offhand runes right here, the Z runes, and yeah, there's other sources of it, but yeah, you definitely want to. to prioritize. Once your gear is max level, you can enchant. If an item is otherwise good, but it doesn't have critical hit chance for one of these slots, you can enchant to re-roll that for critical hit chance. But then when you add if you add both Mother's Lament and Roiling Consequence and you to a good base crit chance, you're going to get probably close to 100% maximum. But of course, these two gems don't. You can never get 100% uptime on those. So there will be times when you don't have close to 100% crit chance, most likely. Um, unless maybe you're running with a Crusader with the standard or Arrow Keeper Holy Banner. There are exceptions, but for the most part, it's going to be hard to impossible to maintain 100% crit chance. So generally, crit chance is always good to stack more of it. Now, critical hit damage, uh, basically, you have to add this to the value of your armor penetration because uh, as long as your armor penetration is higher than expected for your level and your current activity and difficulty, then it will give you more critical hit damage. So you have to add the critical hit damage you get from armor penetration, if any. If you have a lower than expected, definitely got to work on those secondary attributes. Rank up your normal gems, get your weekly and daily normal gems, and all that. And so critical hit damage, you add these two together, and they have a cap of 100%. So I'm actually getting fairly close to the cap I'm at. Is looks like 94.5%. And so adding these demonic remains, it's going to help me a little, but you know, I I could go overkill on this, so you could be mindful of that. And of course, to salvage, you go over to a blacksmith like Charcy and go to services and you go to salvage remains. And let's see, what did I have? I had these five, I believe, and so I want to be careful to see which ones to keep. Okay, I keep that, so I uncheck it, and I want to keep this one for the combat rating, so I uncheck it. And then yeah, these ones are second tier, so I'm going to salvage those. Now let's look at the other slots here. Um, Yeah, so we've got nothing else with higher fortitude and willpower. We've got this one clearly having the most combat rating, and we've got this one with the critical hit chance plus critical hit damage combo. That's best in slot unless until you're capped at least. And then over here, let's see, fortitude and willpower. Nope. And we've got just this one with the best combat rating. And let's see the magic attributes. You've got uh, anything with a particularly good. We've got just one of them with critical hit chance. So I would say this is clearly the best with in terms of the magic attributes. The other one is attack speed. Attack speed is definitely good for most builds. If you're not capped for it, and the attack speed cap is also 100%. And damage done increase per nearby party member, also a good one to have. So let me go ahead and salvage this particular demonic remain. That was the one in the middle of these. Yep. And let's go on to the next one. And let's see. So any fortitude and willpower that's better? No. Fortitude. Oh, this one actually has better fortitude and willpower. So I'm going to seal this one. And let's take a look at the magic attributes on it. Damage taken while moving decreased. I generally prioritize the offensive attributes over the defensive one for raids and or even Gauntlet. Although yeah, Gauntlet can call for some defensive attributes, since this is pretty much the only Gauntlet is pretty much the only mode where it really makes sense to go into this much detail, looking at the special attributes here and actually switching for it. And let me see. So as far as combat rating, this one's the only one with the highest. We've got skill cooldowns and crit chance. That's a good combo for sure. And let's see any other good combos. First of all, let's make sure that we don't have anything else with higher fortitude and willpower. Nope. So, okay. Damage done to demons, definitely another good one, but it's kind of, we've just got the one special attribute here. And here we have another crit chance and crit damage. So these are kind of in my opinion, kind of a toss-up between these two for how good the special attributes are. And it depends on, you know, what you need most. If you're capped on crit damage, then this one's probably better. Um, so let's go ahead and since this one is also the one with the highest combat rating, we're just keeping this one the first and the last. So that's from Umath to Zakoran Dog's Heart. And let's go ahead and salvage the ones in between those. Okay. All right. Just double checking. Yeah, these are less exciting ones. And finally, it looks like we don't have many left. So this last one, well, that's, yeah, we just, oh, this one is so good. Look at how great this demonic remain is both for combat rating and for the special attributes. Damage done to demons, skill damage, and crit hit chance. That's a killer combo. And as I say, I really hope that the devs add demonic remains to the armory uh, to get one of the last few things in here that would be great to save to armory loadouts. And then it's just one other aspect that could just be optimized for the particular content you're running. Anyway, I hope this guide helped, and just let me know if you have any questions. And if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.